I cannot believe that Gavin Newsom actually posted this. Maybe I shouldn't be surprised, but I am. For so many years, people have been saying that Patrick Bateman and I look alike. Now this pic has been going all over the place. What do you think? Do a side by side with the cartoon Joker. The resemblance is more than just superficial. This looks more similar, no? Nick Shirley said, not sure if your comms guy read who Patrick Bateman is, but I don't think comparing yourself to Patrick Bateman is the flex that you think it is. The wealthy, materialistic and psychopathic protagonist. Yeah, looks aren't the reason people compare you to him. This is what Gavin Newsom actually looks like. Revisiting last week with his very distasteful post about Nick Shirley, the Dank Knight responded, still blows my mind that a sitting governor called a journalist a paedophile because he discovered millions in fraud in his state. Reality is so weird nowadays.
Would you guys vote for Gavin Newsom in 2028?
I vote for him because he got me released from coming home from a life sentence.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
So
he didn't hold me back. He didn't hold me back. He signed off saying I'm fit for society. So yes, I would vote for Gavin Newsom.
What were you locked up for, if you don't mind me asking?
I was locked up for murder, carjacking, and robbery.
This is the man who may run for president in a few years. This week there has been some backlash in response to the Harry Potter trailer that's been released. Snape has been recast as a black man. Nelson Mandela might struggle. Ryan Gosling is Barack Obama. Fred says, we all know there is only one way to fix this, and honestly, I hope we don't work him to death. Then there's the other side of the backlash where liberals hate this because they hate J.K. Rowling. If you watch and support this, you are funding trans genocide globally, by the way. Insane Cope responded, nice try, but I still won't be watching it. Robbie Starbuck says, this miscast of Snape in Harry Potter is a good example of race swapping changing an entire story. If Snape is black, despite books saying that he's white, then Harry is now suspicious that the only black teacher at Hogwarts is stealing and his dad bullied a black kid by hanging him. This seems like a major story change to introduce the idea of racism, and it strays from the source material. Have they not received the message that the public is so over this stuff by now? This week, the Democrats' defunding of TSA has blown up in their face, as travellers are going up and personally thanking ICE agents for their service.
You got vodka? Very nice. Yeah. You got vodka in there?
Very I wish. I wish.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. Thank you for the service.
You're happy with ICE?
Yes.
Okay.
I like that. I'm happy for the ICE. Thank you for the service.
ICE agents shown ripping families apart and shooting people. Hovey says that seeing black ICE agents doesn't sit right with my spirit. And Wilfred responded, almost impossible to tell at first glance whether a woke or a racist wrote something. This man went viral at the airport merely because of his accent this week.
Oh, they're right there. All right, they're good. They're here to help. They're not bothering nobody. As long as they can check my bags and get me on my flight, I'm good to go. Right? I want to get to the Bahamas. I want out of here.
Nikki says this is the most beautiful accent in the world and I'll hear no different.
Tell me about what you're doing here today at the airport. How are you assisting?
Traffic.
So I see you guys all walking in a group. What's up? Anybody? Can anybody inform you how you guys are helping out? No thoughts. You guys are the foot soldiers of a fascist regime, right? Is that not what it is? Is that funny? Is that funny? What's funny about that? That was a big laugh. Come on. Tell me at least why it was funny.
ICE is more diverse than every single anti-ICE harassment group, and I think that is peak irony. It's totally true. That's not even an exaggeration. Have a look at the No Kings protest going on and try to argue otherwise. Narrative: ICE agents will kill people at airports. Reality: ICE agents smile and hand out water.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your new captain speaking. Our beautiful ICE officers are now in charge of this airport. That's right. We are the captains now, bitches. To all my illegal aliens, we have a special plane just for you. We'll give you free tacos and cervezas, but we're getting you the hell out of our country. Adios, amigos. If you're a crazy Democrat terrorist, please report to your nearest TSA checkpoint for a full cavity search. You'll probably enjoy that, believe me. Anyone wearing a MAGA hat will get to board first, and they will travel first class all the way.
A lot of people are really enjoying this. Eric says, I'm not a big TMZ fan, but I'm really liking this Senator Shame campaign. Senator Bernie Sanders on first class flight out of DC as DHS funding bill dies. Christine says, Emily Purple, is he looking up hypocrisy on Merriam-Webster? Nothing says fighting the oligarchy like a luxurious first class flight. TMZ is on their asses, I love it. Genuinely fascinating to see the TMZ trackers turn to focus on politicians. Lindsey Graham vacationing at Disney World amid shutdown. C3 thinks that if you replace the Senate with 100 random plumbers, I bet the results for Americans would be better. Do you agree? Elon Musk does. He shared this graph which really puts it into context. He says the uniparty in action. The Republicans will fix it this time. The Democrats will fix it this time. And I mean, look at that going up and up and up. Crazy. Elon also pointed out this needs to change. There are 42 states that hold bartenders accountable if the customers they overserve kill someone, but 0 states that hold judges accountable if the criminals they release kill someone. There's a trend taken off on social media this week with the theme, what were you like in the 90s? And someone applied it to the Democrats. Brilliant.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country.
Our immigration policies are shambles, plain and simple. And right now, our borders are amazingly porous to people who shouldn't be here, such as terrorists, drug smugglers, etc.
If you break our laws by entering this country without permission and give birth to a child, we reward that child with U.S. citizenship, and we wonder, in this country, why we have an illegal immigration problem.
Unlawful immigration is not acceptable.
We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
This was so genius. Look what Donald Trump put up just ahead of the No Kings protests.
And it's very cool.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that great? Just went up yesterday.
Wow. Somebody actually took their time to do this week. Flying a plane with a banner that says, "Not a king, he's your daddy." In New York City at the No Kings rally, demonstrators waved communist flags. No kings, but yes, communist dictators. We like them. No kings, they yelled, listening to Bernie Sanders, who's been in Congress longer than the reign of Henry VIII. Bernie Sanders, 40 years in office, Chuck Schumer, 52 years in office, Joe Biden, 50 years in office, Donald Trump, 5 years in office. Guess which one they're crying about at the No Kings protest today? Thank you, CJ Meany, for tagging me in this one. Where was your No Kings bull when this guy was controlling your life? That is a very good question. I would love to hear the answer. Liberals hate all kinds of kings. Working, thinking, fact-checking, making sense. Let's have a look at this one that Jennifer Hewitt tagged me in.
They go on television and say, oh, Trump is a king. He's a king. I don't feel like a king. A king would have it easy, but they say, he's a king. He's a king. No, we're not a king at all. We just know how to get it done. And a lot of people are saying, maybe we're like a king. You know, if that's the case, I'd rather have a king.
Senator Mazie Hirono said Donald Trump is not, never will be, and has never been a king. Hashtag no kings. Michael Knowles said, so to oppose Trump, you're protesting something that he is not, never will be, and has never been. I think Trump posted this one a while back. A huge thank you to all the No Kings protesters yesterday. I was very concerned a king was trying to take my place, but thanks to your tireless efforts, I am still your president. Great job, all. The best quote of the day. How could we expect a group of people who don't know the difference between a man and a woman to know the difference between a king and a president? We've got to cut them some slack. There are some leering disabilities going on there. Let's be honest, no kings is just code for we still haven't gotten over Trump being president, so here we are again throwing another tantrum. Accurate. Thank you, Jennifer Harper, for tagging me in this one. No kings, but a lot of fools. Fools are fine for the Democrat Party. And CJ Meany also tagged me in yet another one of these videos where once you actually question people, their brain just seems to shut down.
So what brings you out today?
No King's Day.
And why specifically are you out supporting No King's Day?
I think protest is important.
Why are you protesting?
How much time do you have?
A couple minutes. And what's the main reason you're out here protesting President Trump?
I agree with a lot of the decisions that are being made.
Is there any decision in particular you disagree with?
Okay, so I would start with, well, I don't even think it's appropriate for me to have this interview.
This poor girl is being called out this week because trying to insult Trump with her poster, "My dog is smarter than Trump." She had a misspelling, poor girl. Meanwhile, things are not getting better in the UK. Tommy Robinson says, literally, this is how it's going.
Stop there. Where have you been on holiday, Susan? Get your passport out.
Hey, I am refugee.
Welcome, sir. Carry on.
Genuinely. And in much of Europe. Kimber tagged me in this one. When someone comes to your country and demands that you change your beliefs, they are not an immigrant, they are an invader. Illegal immigrants do the jobs Americans don't want to do. Yeah, like voting for Democrats. Thank you, Josh, again for that one. Richard says, when I lock my doors at night, it's not because I hate the people outside. It's because I love the people inside. That's how borders should be viewed. Protection isn't hatred, security isn't racist, and putting your own people first should never be controversial. But somehow, we've been conditioned to think that it is. Society has been tricked into believing that common sense is something to be ashamed of. It isn't. It's survival. We witnessed perfect timing this week in this news interview where this British fella says demographic change is a myth, but watch the background as he says it.
Have you noticed a change in sort of demographics, the people who live here and so on?
Not particularly. I don't see it hasn't changed in any great deal, to be honest with you.
I feel like that's just typical leftist denial of the reality that is staring you right in the face. This was the most bizarre thing I've seen in a while. Speakers at the Democratic Party conference in Canada argue over their gender equity cards. The clips that came out of this week were just bizarre.
Thank you, Delegate. There's a point of privilege on microphone 1, then we'll go to microphone 3. Go ahead, delegate.
Yes, hello. I was standing here with my gender equity card before you called on the previous speaker. That's my point of privilege that I would like to raise.
I will explain the speaking order, which is fixed, that I cannot amend, which is the pro-con rotation. You can move yourself up a line that you're standing in.
I am pro, and I was...
We went...
You went pro, con...
We went pro-con, pro, and my plan was to go con. The speaker at con mic 3 also has a speaking card.
Yesterday, this card was used in an inappropriate manner. And while I understand in Ontario we note this as equity, even if that, this was also used inappropriately in terms of gender. I want everyone to be mindful that these cards for individuals like myself who identify as a Black woman have no value outside of this space.
The more that I watched of this, the more I felt like I was in some sort of fever dream.
Your point's quite well made, Speaker. I'll again thank delegates not to call me Madam Chair or Madame la Présidente. I'm a non-binary person. My pronouns are they, them, and their. Chair is sufficient. And with regret, you've spoken to the resolution. It's not open to you to also call the question. If the question is the will of the House, someone else must call it because we heard from you in substantive debate.
Okay, I was not aware.
Weird rule. Microphone 4.
Yes, thank you. My name is Fred Farhat Sufi.
I don't understand how we've gotten to this place. I really don't.
I see that we are 1 minute ahead of schedule, and so I'm going to get out of here. The balloting co-chairs are returning, I believe. Now balloting co-chairs. There is a point. Let's hear the point on microphone 1.
I'm sorry, just real quick, point of personal privilege. I understand there's very little time and for delegates to speak, but early on the mic, it's hard as a racialized and transgender delegate to sometimes use this card and speak up, speak to somebody in front of me in line and ask, hey, this pertains to multiple intersecting parts of my lived experience. I'd like to speak. I was rejected when I talked, and it's frustrating when these are my rights being directly under attack right now in Alberta, and that a cisgender woman had spoken over me. And I understand her rights are important too. This pertains to her too, but I don't know. I hope that in the future the federal NDP will also have a broader interpretation of the equity cards for speakers. That's all. Thank you.
I will invite delegates to assist me in better using the card by forming a straight line behind the microphone with a prominently displayed equity card. If I see speakers ahead of you who are not holding a card prominently, it would be wrong of me to guess about their gender identity, and I will come to you. This applies so far, according to your rules, for gender identities other than a dude, but it is open to us to change our rules as we like as we move forward into the bright and golden future. Thank you, friends. Let's hear the balloting co-chairs.
And here's a great argument, right? So if a loud group of people felt very deeply that the earth was flat and we wanted to include them because telling them it is not flat made them feel suicidal, would we remove the globes from classrooms and the word globe from speech and teach every child that the earth is flat?
How arrogant are you to think that you deserve to go through life with no one ever saying anything that you don't agree with or like? I want people to stop saying that joke's offensive. Yeah. I want them to start saying I found it offensive, because that's all it is. You're just telling me how you feel about it. Yeah. There's nothing intrinsically offensive about this joke. It's trying to make I'm offended sound important. Yeah. It's no different to saying I've got a pain in my leg. Yeah. Right, I believe you. Yeah. But there's nothing to do with me. Yeah, but you shouldn't hurt people's feelings. Well, you can if their feelings are wrong. Yeah. Yeah. You know, if you don't like the facts, don't change the facts, change the feelings. Yeah. So you don't have to pave the jungle. Yeah. You can just grow a pair and up.
Sometimes it is hard to maintain perspective on things, but we have come an awful long way in the last couple of years. It's easy to forget. This is 2 years ago. On March 30th, 2024, Biden declares Easter Sunday as Transgender Day of Visibility. That was the norm 2 years ago. I will just finish with a piece of good news this week. Inevitable West said this might be one of the worst days in history for the EU bureaucrats. Mass deportation proposal passed, chat surveillance proposal rejected, and all tariffs on US goods dropped. The centrists have begun voting en masse with the nationalists. This has never been seen before. The EU return regulation proposed by the AfD has just been passed. This is the best and toughest detain and deport plans that have ever been put to the EU Parliament, leaving the left in complete meltdown. Remigration is inevitable. And then huge win in Denmark, the right-wing People's Party more than tripled its vote share and seats in the election. Voters are fed up with open border madness. Europe is waking up. And you're seeing this kind of growth for right-wing parties across lots of countries in Europe. So hopefully we are moving away from some of this craziness that's been going on. I just wanted to say a very big thank you to Douglas G. Thorpe for the Buy Me a Coffee this week. He said, did you know that back in 1886 when Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone, he already had 2 missed calls and a voicemail from Chuck Norris? Thanks, Em. I gotta get a chance this time around, but I hope to meet you in the next life. Your mom and pop should be proud. Thank you so much, Douglas. I hope that you're keeping well. It's always very nice to hear from you. And thank you to all of you guys for watching. Don't forget you can tag me in any funny clips or memes that you see on X. And I always enjoy looking at them. So thanks again, guys. I will see you next time.